up, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue our quadratics, but specifically this time, we're going to focus on when a is not equal to 1, right? So if you haven't seen my video where a is equal to 1, I would go watch that so we can familiarize yourself with the process and the steps, right? And so when a is not equal to 1, there's an extra step we have to do, but you'll understand it once we get into some example problems. So yeah, we can get started here. Okay, so first example problem, we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 6 is equal to 0. All right, so as we can see, a is greater than 1, and so what I do, there's multiple methods, but what I do is something called the box method, right? So you make a 2x2 grid, and in the top left you put your a term, which is 2x squared, and in the bottom right you put your c term, right? Okay, pretty basic, right? So now this is the part where it gets a little bit different from when a is equal to 1. So what you want to do is you want to multiply a and multiply it by your c, right? So a times c equals what? So we have 2 times 6, and that equals 12, right? So we have 12. We have this number. And now this is when it gets similar to when a is equal to 1. We have to figure out what multiplies to get 12 and adds to get 7, right? We're not trying to find 6 anymore. We're trying to get 12, right? So what multiplies to get 12 and adds to get 7? And if you work it out, you get 3 and 4, right? So now these are your factors that go in your table, right? So we have 3x and we have 4x. Yeah. Okay, so now we can just find, and so for each column and each row in the grid, we want to find the GCF, right? And so in this row right here, the GCF is x. In this row, the GCF is 2, right? Now we go vertically. This GCF is 2x, and this GCF is 3. All right, so now the stuff in red, that's our factors, right? So we have 2x plus 3, and we have x plus 2. Okay, so this right here is our fact form of this quadratic. Boom, right here. But if it told us to solve, all we have to do is flip the sign. So this one becomes x equals -2, and this one we set this to 0. So 2x plus 3 equals 0. Subtract 3 divided by 2, and we get x is equal to -3/2, right? Right. Hopefully this made some sense, but we're going to keep on continuing more practice problems so you can get the gist of it. All right, we're going to go on to the second one. All right, that one is, we have 8x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. All right, same situation here. A is not equal to 1. A is not equal to 1, so we have to make that 2x2 grid, the box method, right? So we have our box right here, A term, top left, C term, bottom right. Make sure to include that negative, right? And same thing as last time, A times C equals 8 times -3. Make sure to incorporate this. -24, right? So now we have -24, and we have our 2. So what multiplies to get -24 and adds to get 2, right? And you're going to come up with -4 and +6 right here. These are our missing components to this box. So we have -4x and 6x, right? So now find the GCF of each row and column. And for this one, it would be 4x. This one would be 2x. This one would be -1. And this one would be 3. Alright, so here are our factors. We have, move this over. We have 4x plus 3, and we have 2x minus 1. Right, and so that's our factored form. If you want to solve, set them both equal to 0. And once you solve that, you're going to get x equals 1/2 and x equals negative 3/4. I mean, negative 3/4. I don't know what I said. Negative 3/4, right? So this right here is our answer, right? Hopefully this makes a little more sense. Getting the gist of it. All right. Make sure, like, this is different from a equals 1 because you have to multiply your a by your c, right? So then you use that value instead of the c term, right? So yeah. We're gonna do one more. And try to answer this before I do, or like you can pause the video, try to answer it and see if you get it right. And so problem is gonna be 5x squared plus 7x plus 2 equals 0. All right, so pause the video, see if you can do this, and see if you're right. All right, so you have your 2x2 grid. Right, you have your A term, top left, C term, bottom right. Right, and now next step, remember, multiply your A by your C. A times C, that equals 10. What multiplies to get 10 and adds to get 7? You're gonna get 2, positive 5, right? So these go in our missing parts, right? So we have 2x here, 5x here. Now all you have to do is find the GCF of each column and row. This one's gonna be just x. This one's gonna be 5x. This column over here is gonna be 2, and this over here is gonna be 1, right? So we have our factors. Right here. Right, you have 5x plus 2. And our other set of parentheses is, you can't see it, but it's x plus 1. Alright? Yeah, okay, there we go. Right now we can just solve for these if it says to solve. So x equals negative 1 from this one, and x equals negative 2/2 for this one. Remember, if you're trying to solve for x, just equal them to 0, and yeah. So hopefully this made sense. When a is not equal to 1. Yeah, a equal to 1 is easier than this because you don't have so many steps. Kind of simpler, but hopefully this helps. So yeah, thanks for watching.